Okay, so we've reached the turbo content stage, and what I'm going to do is just follow my lead again on this. Now what we're going to do on this one, the purpose of this particular tab is to actually put some content on your cache creator. Now it's very important that we actually do this stage. Simple fact is we want people to read interesting information. Now if you're brand new to this and you've never done this before, this is very, very easy. You don't have to write anything. All you have to do is just follow my lead, because we're going to actually populate the pages with good, juicy content. So all the search engines will pick this stuff up and rank it very, very highly. And you don't have to do anything, because you just have to just put your niche keyword in. So in my case, it is weight loss. Okay, so if you're promoting arts and leisure, whatever, how to train your dog, how to get bigger muscles, whatever you want to do, okay, that will be your key, where you put that in there. Now, what we're going to do, we're actually going to pull information from other sites. So this is quite clever, because again, what I was saying earlier on, we don't have to write any content. Now we have different articles which we're going to pull in, and we're going to change those articles around. We're not going to do it, the software is going to do it, so that's even better. So I'm just going to pull in here. I'm going to use Enzine articles there. You can choose any of those. There's article dashboard, go articles, video post, whatever you want to do. Now the post frequency, this is going to say how often do you want the software to update your content on your site. Now you've got daily, weekly or random. Okay, I'm going to keep it on defaulting onto daily, and I suggest you do the same. And this is this is a very interesting little gadget which you've got here. This is called a content spinner. All right, it's an internal spinner. Now what this basically does, this will, when we pull the information from these particular sites here, okay, this will change the titles and some of the keywords within the content itself. So basically what this is doing is making anything which we're kind of borrowing, pinching, whatever you want to call it, but it's making it our own. So it becomes our content. Okay, so this is ours. So I'm going to use, you can spin the titles, which is basically like the titles here. That will change these around, also the content here. Or you can just spin the body, which is this part here, or you can do the titles and body. Now I'm going to use titles and body because I like to do that. Now this is going to ask you how many posts you want it to create. Now I'm going to put in there 5, okay, and that is as simple as that. Now this little box here is include the resource box. Now I'm going to click tick yes on this, because what this basically does includes, do you want the original author of the article from this particular site to be included, to make sure that he gets credit or she gets credit. Now I like to do that. If someone has made the effort to actually write an article on it, I think it's probably a good idea to actually include the resource box and tick it there. Okay, so you don't have to do it, but it's an option if you want to do that or not. Okay, now the start date, this is basically what we do is the date here. So it's the month first. Now it's obviously February 2012, so I'm going to put 02 and I'm going to put / and the date today is obviously the 14th of February. Happy Valentine's everybody. But I'm going to backdate this to the 5th. Okay, and the reason I'm going to do that, because if there's no articles being written on today already, then nothing will show, so it'll only show after that date. So if you actually backdate them, it will pull in articles which have been done before. So I've got in there the 5th, and I want to put 2012. Okay, now this little thing here is called the best spinner. Now if you're using a thing called the best spinner, this is a bit more advanced. If you're completely new, you don't have to use this, but I'm going to do a separate video on this to show you how to use the best spinner. And all the best spinner is an updated version of our little spinner here. Okay, it just goes into a little bit more in depth there. So if you've got the best spinner, you can click that. If you haven't, just unclick it like that and it'll be already blank anyway. So you've got admin and password in there, so just make sure you just actually filled everything in correct. That's already defaulted to whatever your website is. Your little niche, which article submission service you want to use, i.e. pull in their articles from there. If you want to do it daily, spin the titles and body, admin and passwords in there. I'm going to put a maximum of 5 posts in. I'm going to include the resource box, i.e. the author of the original article, and I've backdated it a few days, so I'm ready to go. So all I need to do now is just click in the black area there and press play and let the software do its stuff. Takes a few seconds to do. And as you can see, it's going off to Google now to actually find any of these articles here around this particular niche. So it's looking for the best high gravity. It's gone away to Bing, and it's looking for the best stuff which it can actually pull off, which is actually getting the traffic. So it's very, very clever what this is doing. And just all you've got to do is let it do its stuff, okay? Just don't click anything in here. You can mouse over it, but you don't actually click anything. And as you can see, it's gone to enzyme articles, and there's a great little article there called weight loss. So it's going to pull all that and then insert it into our cache creator. And that's really good. Now, like I say, I've got 5 posts here. You can have as many as you like. I mean, you can have 20 posts in there. Obviously, the more you actually say that you want, it takes a little bit more time for the software to actually pull these in. Okay, so as you can see, weight loss, hair loss. Is there a link between weight loss and hair loss? Well, there might be. I don't know. I don't really care, but I'm just pulling that information off because all I want to do is actually get this information onto my cache creator. So what will happen then is they'll get picked up by Google very quickly because the content is very, very juicy, and Google will see it as new content and rank it very, very highly. So what the software is actually doing now, it's actually going to log back in, and now it's just gone and retrieved all that information what I want. It's going to log itself back into there, and then it's actually going to dump it all into our cache creator. Very, very clever stuff. So as you can see now, what the software is actually doing is editing the posts, okay? Because remember, we actually said we're going to spin the titles and the body. It's actually doing that as we speak here. So each one of these posts which it's bringing in, it's actually changing everything, and it's doing its stuff, and it's inserting it into your cache creators. So when people actually come onto it, it'll go, oh right, okay, this is really interesting. That is really good. And also the search engines as well, Google, MSN, and Bing, will see this as brand new content, and will go, happy days, we like this, we'll rank this very highly, and you get traffic onto your cache creators. And obviously, because we've got all our ClickBank IDs in here, we get traffic very quickly, which goes through and buys our products, and we get a commission. So it's pretty simple, and it's very easy. So there we go, we get our success message come up, and that basically is our first cache creator. So we have a look at this in a browser, you can see what's been happening. So there we go, I've just gone into the Internet Explorer. We've got lose belly fat, we've got all the images which have been brought in from the software, and we've got interesting articles as well. And like I say, I only brought in 5, you can have as many as you want as well, and it populates all the pages throughout the different tabs here. Now, this is really, really cool actually, because basically you can actually add things in as much as you want. So I've only done 5 articles. You can do as many as you want. So that's the first one done, and we're going to do some more advanced stuff a little bit further into the course, but we just wanted to get going on the main tabs to start off with, just to get your first one up and running. Okay, once you've actually got that up and running, we're going to do a little bit more advanced stuff further on, and then but there you go, that's pretty simple.